Hi guys, thank you for listening to another episode of Stop Being Hateful. My name is Lori Fogg, and I'm here with my producer and boyfriend,
Adam McAvoy.
What's up? How you doing?
I've been better.
We've been together the whole weekend, so.
We've been together the whole weekend, but that's not why I could be doing better. Yesterday, Lori and I went to Squam.
Musquamicut, the beach.
Musquamicut, the beach.
Musquamicut, the beach.
And, you know, Lori's supposed to put sunscreen on me.
Okay, let me just say, I don't like lotion, which I know is like a hot take. I don't like sunscreen. I don't like any, liquid.
Yeah.
In my, I don't like the feeling of, knowing it's going in my skin. I don't like that sensation.
But it goes away. It's only there for, it's only a...
Yeah, but, I just don't like putting it on. I don't like rubbing it in. I don't.
So, because she has this aversion to it,
because I don't like it, nobody else.
I get burned.
I didn't put enough sunscreen on it.
Did I put enough sunscreen on Lori?
Absolutely.
Her legs are fine, back.
Beautiful.
Nice and...
My face is very red because I forgot to put sunscreen on it.
The one place I did not spray her with the sunscreen, spray on was her face. I was like, I'll let her do that herself.
Smile.
She kind of has, she's burnt in the pattern of the Ultimate Warrior. If
Adam keeps saying that.
Well, let's see. Just her chin and her mouth are not burnt, and her cheeks and forehead.
I think was it because of the mask we were wearing?
I wasn't wearing a mask at the beach.
Okay.
Neither were you. What are you talking about?
When we were walking to the bar.
Even then, we walked to this very famous pilgrimage in my family, Patty's Wigwam, and got some commemorative glasses and drinks for my brothers. He's
now 21.
First time,
Congratulations to
I
him
know.
for being of age. But yeah, I don't like sunscreen. I don't like sunblock. I know that it's important. I know you're supposed to lather and rinse and repeat.
Especially, we were going in the water a lot.
Yeah, we were in the water a lot.
Anyone who's been to Musquamicut knows those waves are 6 foot tall waves. At least you get some bigger ones, but it's hard to stay away from the ocean. It's so inviting and enticing. You're just sitting there on the beach and listening to it getting hot.
Yeah.
It's let me go hop in there.
I had never been to a Rhode Island beach before. I was really taken aback.
Only Connecticut beaches.
Only Connecticut beaches. That's the thing that I feel like I've never been to the beach this much in my life.
This much as in?
I think maybe in my lifetime before we started dating, I've been to the beach maybe 4 or 5 times. And this summer I've been to the beach 4 or 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
It's I feel like people on the West Coast are always at the beach.
Huh.
You know what I mean?
You just mean California? Or
I feel like on Vanderpump, I feel like it perpetuates that myth that people that live on the West Coast, in California, are
mm-hmm.
always by the water. But I feel like that myth, the thing for East Coasters is oh, you work a corporate job and then you go in the Hamptons for a weekend. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's a different
I guess,
mythology of the region.
I mean, the place we usually would go to is in Long Island Sound, which you get no waves. The Long Island Sound
very
is
nice.
Very quiet and peaceful. It's nice to spend a weekend down at the shore, but it's not the same as when you're down at the beach and you hear waves crashing and you can go body surfing or get thrown. Laura was just mostly getting thrown.
I really don't understand the point. Not understand the point, but I haven't picked up on the nuances of body surfing yet. And I was watching you guys and I was watching other people, but by the time I got to see you guys, the wave had already hit me. So it was and I was wearing a tube top and my top just kept coming off.
Yeah, it did.
It was so embarrassing. I'm pretty sure your family definitely saw my boobs, and it was just at that point. And then as I was trying to get out of the water that time, the wave knocked me on my ass, and I thought I couldn't move my legs.
Yeah, there was
it hurt so bad.
The waves can definitely send you for a spin. We were there, I think it was after Hurricane Sandy, and it was 12, 14 foot waves, and we had boogie boards, so it was a little different, but we were getting, if you fell off it or you, messed up and the wave threw you sideways, you were gonna go for a fall, and there's a lot of rocks in the sand.
Yeah, it was very...
Sand's not very forgiving.
It's not soft.
No, it's not.
It's, hard.
It's hard, it's coarse.
But, anyways, so... we're here. We're going to talk about reality television. We're going to talk about some media we've consumed. Mm-hmm. We watched a few movies.
We did watch a few movies, which kind of, I think we should save the best for last, because recently we'll save the best for last, but recently we watched It Part 2.
We saw it at the drive-in.
You can't really do much in the core, so you gotta do what you can.
Yeah, and the drive-in's cute. It's where we had our first kiss.
Sure, yes, that's where we had our first kiss.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
No, it wasn't.
It was in your car, but it was bad the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I got really nervous, but so in my head, it's like where we had our first kiss.
Gotcha.
But yeah, we saw It Chapter 2. It was so funny. It was the funniest movie I've ever seen.
It was the funniest horror movie I've ever seen too.
Like we were just listening to that episode of Joe Rogan. Was it Post Malone he was talking with?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Oh, like I love the first It. Like I saw that in college for the first time with my roommate, and I thought it was." Are you talking
with the original
or
the
Tim
remake?
Curry.
Okay.
And I thought it was really and it was also a movie that when I was a kid I was scared to watch because he's on the VHS cover like
creepy clown, yeah.
He's like on the corner and like he's like looking over, and that was so scary to me. But it's like it was like he was real, like I knew like that was a real costume that like everything that happened in that movie was like puppetry or like and it wasn't always realistic. It wasn't always the best looking, but it was like real. Like you could tell like this is what it would kind of look like if we did it in real life.
See, I actually haven't seen the Tim Curry OG It. I've only seen clips of it.
Okay. Should watch it.
Yeah, we should. I agree.
Yeah, and they keep saying like, yeah, I know the second one it had like good actors. Like I thought Bill Hader did a good job.
Oh yeah, I like Bill Hader. It wasn't any of the actors.
It wasn't any acting, but it was just so funny.
It just wasn't scary.
Yeah, and then like they lace a kid. Like I didn't like that James McAvoy gets laced without his knowledge.
I kind of like that though.
That felt a little bit bad taste to me. I didn't really get. I don't know. And they kept saying his name is It. Like I wish they would just call him like something else.
I mean, one person called him Pennywise. Like Bill Hader called him Pennywise.
Yeah, but they don't. They'll just be like, "Oh, it wants us to fear it." It's like when you keep hearing a word that's like that, it's like, okay, this is stupid. Like I don't care anymore.
Yeah, agreed. And the whole movie was like, 3
hours long. Too.
I want to say like one of the better parts of the remake of It, with the kids was like you're seeing these kids like interacting with one another. You're seeing them try to come out like their friendship was like important, like a focal point of the movie.
And in this, they all had to go alone.
Yeah, they
on their journey.
They literally all break up, and then like you just get to see it's just like one 15-minute section of the movie where it's like a little bit of backstory and like Pennywise scaring them.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
But they think they've killed it, but then it comes back to scare all of them. It's like, okay, well.
Yeah. I
don't get how that works. I don't know.
Yeah. It wasn't. It didn't seem like it was very well thought through. And then something that just bothered me from like like my expertise animation standpoint is that like you said with the original, it didn't feel real. Like the clown. So much of the scenes with the clown in it were
CGI.
Were CGI. Like Pennywise ripping his face off. Pennywise like somehow being distorted. There wasn't like very many shots like the original of just like Pennywise being creepy in the background or Pennywise, fucking with the kids. A weird clown. All this stuff was like Pennywise has 8 legs or Pennywise has a hand made of hands.
In the book that like that is what I've never read the book, but I like know about. And like I know like in the book he is like an extraterrestrial, like
he's a demon
from space. So I think space, in that aspect that's what they were trying to do with it.
But they had that in the first one too. It just like.
But it was too much.
I don't even know if it was too much. It was just like none of this is real. Like none of it is real. Because of how
CGI it is.
Yeah,
it takes you out of it.
It really does.
As opposed to immersing you.
Not that I didn't think that some of it was cool or looked scary. Like when James McAvoy's character puts his arm down the grate and the hand of hands grabs him.
That is kind of.
I thought that was like really scary. I thought that looked creepy. But then like just the way the baby hands looked, it was just like the hand of hands looked. It was just like. Well, this very clearly isn't real. There's no texture to them. They don't interact with the light. Like I don't know. It's just something to think about when you're making movies like that, because like I wasn't.
Yeah, I just couldn't.
I wasn't like invested,
and it was so sincere. It made me like.
Because the actors were acting
so well. I was like, oh.
And then what was on screen was just like comical or. Is this what they're? Yeah, I don't know.
It was like, why are you being such a good actor? The material you're given does not warrant this performance, Jessica Chastain. But
the guy who played Eddie was my favorite.
Eddie.
The guy who kept on saying "fuck" the risk management.
Oh yeah, James Ransone. He has no lips. Really kept throat. And then he just gets stabbed in the face. Like,
yeah,
why?
he gets stabbed in the face at one. I forgot that happened.
I was like, why did that happen? Like, that was so weird. Like,
that was so.
He just dies.
Just shock factor. Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
You've already seen the movie, you know.
I mean, one of the main characters from the original kills himself in the first 15 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, he does that. That's just like what happens.
Yeah.
But is he the deaf kid? No, he's just.
Well, there was a deaf kid.
No, I don't
he was
think
a Jewish kid.
I think he was a Jewish kid.
Yeah,
but
it was
I think he has
Stanley,
like
the Jewish kid.
he has like something wrapped around his head, and I'm always like, oh, he has a hearing. He has a hearing problem. He's got a cochlear implant, even though he hasn't. But yeah, and we've also been watching 90 Day Fiance clips.
Now
I haven't gotten Adam to watch the whole show yet.
We just had, we're a Vanderpump Rules podcast that is in a crisis right now.
Vanderpump Rules family, really.
We're a Bravo family. Bravo family, but we're a Vanderpump Rules podcast. We're thrown up into turmoil. Like our Queen Kristen and Lord Stassi are exiled. They're into the Bravo abyss. They no one's seen or heard from. We've seen or heard from Stassi.
Well, Bo just posted a picture of Stassi on his Instagram, like commemorating their 1-year engagement, and she looks pretty pregnant. She's like in white,
he's
a white
such an
bralette
asshole.
and white thong.
Okay, we're looking it up.
I forgot to. I just saw it this morning.
I heard bralette.
It's like a standard maternity shoot.
Mhm. What's his
Oh God, it's the.
I just think it's very strange. He, the fact that
he's filed for bankruptcy a lot, and I don't want to sound mean, but I would definitely not love to be.
I just think it's. I think it's really ridiculous that
Here, I got it. I'll type it in for you.
I just think it's really ridiculous that this man's celebrating the 1-year engagement anniversary. Bro, you shouldn't be celebrating that. You should get married. What the fuck are you doing? She's pregnant. This is
the photo.
You got her goddamn pregnant. Oh, that's not even a good photo.
I think it's pretty cute.
I guess.
You can tell she's
standard.
you can tell she's in love with being pregnant.
Oh, can you? Where's Stassi's Instagram? But it's just dude, what the fuck? Marry her already. She's having your goddamn child.
They did have a wedding date planned in Italy.
Oh, they were having a destination wedding? Was that before or after she got canceled?
How do you spell it?
I can figure out how to spell Stassi Schroeder. This account is private.
She went private, you guys.
Oh my
God. She went private.
This is crazy. Next level basic. She needs how many years has her photo been next level basic?
It's been a year, Adam.
That's only how long the book's been out?
Yeah.
Next level basic.
Feels like forever.
It just feels like a season 3 storyline.
Feels like such a stupid bit. But I don't know. I just think it's. I mean, they did have a destination wedding planned.
April 16th, 2019. Next level basic came out. She got canceled fast. She got a book deal.
She literally was on top. It's what is that saying? The higher they. The
bigger they are, the
higher they fall.
The harder they fall.
Yeah, that's how I feel and I feel it's all her own doing though.
Yeah, no, what her and
what her and Kristen did is morally reprehensible.
But yes, it is. I just don't. I don't understand why it's a personal thing between them and Faith. I don't see why it's being played out in public.
Yeah.
I do see why it's being played out in public, but at the same time I'm just I don't know.
You know what I say? Keep Stassi and Kristen on the show, bring Faith on, and let them duke it out for our entertainment.
Or at least just for the reunion.
Yeah, you don't even need to pay them if that's morally dicey. To just have them on.
They'll take the
They'll take it at this point. I
mean, I was about to email Stassi and Kristen to come on our podcast 6 episodes in.
I don't think I'd like to talk to either of them.
Oh, and you are... I don't believe you. If we ever get Kristen and Stassi or one or the other or both on this podcast, we will have a whole multimedia presentation.
I think I would be so let's talk about Kristen. Let's talk about
Babe, when
your t-shirt line.
I'm putting it out there to the
He's manifesting it.
When this happens, you're gonna help me make. We're gonna have a whole PowerPoint set up. We're gonna discuss We're gonna discuss the Ariana hatred. I want to see if she actually has any good information on like Miami Girl.
Can you talk to us about Jax? Did Jax suck both of your toes, or did he just suck your toes, Stassi, since you were in the relationship?
No, he sucked both of their toes. What are you talking about?
So
if he's posting pictures... Faith is the one we have to ask if he sucked her toes.
I just want to know, was the old woman in the room, or was she not in the room when you guys had sex?
She was in the room. We already know this. Faith said they were in her spare room.
It's so... Like, that to me is, like, so beyond... Jax Taylor is just, like... He's honestly the one that I'd want to have on the podcast, because...
Why? He wouldn't tell you anything. You have to get someone who's mad at Jax.
I don't think either of them are mad at Jax.
Or unless Jax is in, like, a depressive state, like, and then he talks shit.
We'll load him up with some coke, get him all riled up.
We can't. There's walking a fine line between depressive and aggressive when we load someone up with coke.
He just beats you up.
Just beats you up. I'm the number one man.
I'm the number one guy in this podcast. Like, we had you on as a guest. Vicky and Brittany are in Kentucky right now.
For the quarantine? Or just
no, because her mom, I think, had surgery, and it went awry, and she was in the ICU. But Sherry's doing much better now. Happy for Brittany.
Pray for Sherry.
Pray for Sherry.
Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers for Sherry. I mean, she's fine. She doesn't really need the prayers anymore, but if you're thinking about her, pray for her, I guess.
This is kind of, side to the podcast, but a podcast, like, we kind of listen to, Dr. Drew After Dark. He's been getting into 90 Day Fiancé.
The psychology is...
I just want to say, I feel like, because it's if anyone's fans of Your Mom's House, it's a spin-off of Your Mom's House podcast. And Christina P. and Tom Segura have gotten Dr. Drew down this path of watching these debaucherous videos.
Sorry.
No, go.
Like, 90 Day Fiancé to me is, like, the perfect reality show, because it, like, is an encapsulation of, the desperation humans have for love. Mm-hmm. You know, with some of these people, it's like, oh, you are just, like...
You are just lonely. Like,
you're just lonely. You just need anybody. But then it's also, like, you bring, like, a lot of the time, like, the politics of, like, immigration into it. And, like, you know, when the people... Like, when everything's good, it's good. But, like, when things are bad, they'll be like, you're from a third world country. Like, I'll deport you.
Kind of, like, you see, like, racism.
You see, like, the ugly...
Soft bigotry come out. Like...
Yeah, like, the authority that these people have over, like, this person. And, like, also
I have a question. On that, kind of going down that line, who do you think has more authority? The lonely person from the first world country who would do anything to have someone in their life, or the person in the third world country who would do anything to bring up their standard of living?
I think the difference lies in whether or not they get the visa or they date. You know, because once you can date, and like, I feel like when it's 90 Day Fiancé the other way, when the Americans come to the country, the other person that's in the higher ground clearly is, like, the native Brazilian, or the native, like, because they're with their family, they're with, like, you know, if things go bad. Mm-hmm.
No, I'm just talking about, like, both of them are online using one another.
I've definitely seen, there was one season, you've never seen, like, I think you might have seen some clips from Caesar, the guy who was just, like, giving that girl, like, the manicurist, the guy who was just, like, giving this...
$800 a month.
Definitely has, literally... all of the power.
So, like, the guy with the trench coat who went to Russia or Ukraine, like him, it's like the private investigator says Alana had, whatever her name is.
Lana.
It was Lana?
It was Lana.
I was just guessing, you know. Never mind. But, Svetlana. She had 6 or 7 other guys like him,
or she had other accounts.
No, he told her that she was on dozens of other dating websites, and that she had multiple other men just like him, that were sending her money. And when he was told this, he like just didn't want to hear it. It's like her and him, like he is sending her money. All she talks about is wanting gifts and wanting to come to America. I think in this instance, she's using him way more.
She's definitely got all of the power.
All the power.
But they were talking for a long time. I think for multiple years.
I'm not saying he doesn't. He's
but like
not
with
culpable.
The situation,
I'm not saying anything like that. But like baby girl Lisa.
She has a lot of power over him, I'd say.
Oh, I
feel like the dynamic is so off with them. Like I feel like she's a very despised member in the franchise. And I feel like it's just because this dude, like, when I was watching the show, I was like, he seems very nice. Like, he doesn't seem like he has any... He seems like he's going out of his way to do things that would damage his career.
He was very polite.
And he just was like, also, it's like, American women have this idea of, like, I'm independent, I'm a feminist woman, like, I'm a free woman, and, like, other countries just don't have that. That's just not a reality for a lot of other places.
Other countries, like, when there's not as high of a standard of living, like, if you can't, let's I don't know, there's just, like, if there's not a high of a standard of living, you can't expect, as much freedom.
Yeah, he says, like, oh, I don't know what Hausa is. I think it's, like, maybe it's the religion. It's, like, an offshoot. He's Muslims. Or, I don't know. But he says, like, oh, I'm a Hausa man. Like, I take care of... Tribal. Like, I take care of, like, my house. Like, my, like, everything. And you're the wife, and you stay home, and you, like, take care... Also, these men, I just feel like, don't have a good grasp on, like, women can't have babies forever. Like, you just can't. Yeah. Like, if you're going after a 50-year-old woman who's from York, Pennsylvania... Like, think about it. Like, she's not going to be able to give you a baby.
See, that's my question. It's a question I've never even thought of. Like, is that a part of their relationship? Do they want children?
With Angela and Michael, who are like, oh, I'm
talking about Baby Love, and have those two, like, on the show talked about that?
I think they have.
Because, like, if that's true, then, like...
No, I don't think she wants kids anymore. But Angela and Michael... I'm just saying,
like, if that's true, then, like, of Lisa... That is way more, again, manipulative, because she's like, you're gonna marry me, you're gonna be my husband, and then...
She's just mean. She, like, the way she talks to him is just, like, mean.
It was. But it was also, like, it was also kind of like, she's a 60-year-old, or 50, whatever she is, year old woman, like... Yeah. What do you expect from a 50-year-old woman? Like, like, I don't know. Like, she goes to another country. I was hearing her yelling at him about,
anything you want, I'ma do for you. Baby love.
Baby
Every
love.
time
I was just like, when they went to the marriage office, or, like, the town office, trying to get the marriage license.
That was mine. Like, this happens so often where they'll be like, oh, we're 5,000 miles away, and I don't have my birth certificate. It's like, are you a fucking moron? You go to the DMV, which is 15 minutes away from your house. You bring, like, your entire stack of paper. You, like... Yeah.
But she was like, I told you why to go call them and see what I needed.
It's like, you can't Google it? Like...
Why couldn't you do that, A? B, like, in a relationship, it's not your place to try and, like...
It's not your partner's fault if you forget something.
Oh, no. Well, she did ask him a bunch of times. Yeah. But it's like, it's not your place to scold your partner. Like, I don't know, like... To be there and just be like, I was watching, like, someone's mom yell at a child. Like, that's what it felt like. I was getting, like, the way she was talking down to him.
And it does feel like that sometimes with the age discrepancies, like with Big Ed and Rosemary.
Oh, yeah.
Feels like he's like, I understand English isn't her first language, but just because somebody doesn't speak something fluently doesn't mean their brain processes information slowly. It just processes it differently. And then, so you don't need to talk to somebody who's 25 like they're a child.
I saw those Big Ed clips and I was like, oh, why are people making fun of this guy? And then I saw the ulcer clip finally of, like, her being like...
So embarrassing.
Like, I have an ulcer, and then it's just like, yeah, that's... he could have done... Like, he was like, I didn't know how to ask her. It's like...
How about, are you okay?
Not like that, or like...
Your breath isn't pretty. Like, who's...
And then she's like walking, she's saying in Tagalog, you're ugly, and she walks away. She said it like
I love you
3 times.
You're ugly.
Oh my god, that made me so uncomfortable.
Also, like, I just don't fundamentally understand why you... Like, not that you can't... Like, love doesn't really have a language, or, like... it's a universal human feeling. So you could fall in love with somebody who doesn't speak English.
Absolutely.
Why would you, though? Like, not why... No, but it's, like, with Jihoon and Devin, who are, like... He's from South Korea, and she's from Utah. And his English, like, is just not up there. Or, like, another couple...
I mean, interests, similar passion.
Yeah. But, like, these couples who, like, only communicate through Google Translate. Like, how do you do that?
You start to learn... You do that, and you start to learn the language.
Yeah, like Angela...
I would learn a dumb language for you. I'd learn, like, French for you or something.
Oui, parlez-vous français? I don't know. I took a few Duolingo courses on French, but I wouldn't say them. But, yeah, I mean, Angela and Marcel...
You must be fluent.
He was from Turkey, and they both love beekeeping. They met on, like, a Facebook group.
Like a beekeeping forum?
Yeah. Which, like, I thought was cute, and, like, their wedding had, like... Although he kept saying she wasn't that good of a beekeeper, which I was, like...
He might just be messing with her. That might be an inside joke.
No, he was, like, his talking heads, he'd be like, I'm not as good of a beekeeper as... Okay.
But back to the Dr. Drew thing I was saying earlier. I was listening to Your Mom's House on the way to work, or Dr. Drew After Dark on the way to work, and he's getting into 90 Day Fiancé finally. And he doesn't watch reality television. Much like the premise of our podcast, I've never watched reality television, and I felt such a connection to him when he was saying that, like, he just feels himself, like, getting darker and, like, more evil when you think about these people. Like, there's nothing good. Like, I don't think of, when I go to watch, like, Real Housewives or Vanderpump or 90 Day Fiancé, I'm not celebrating these people. I'm, like, waiting to be upset by these people so I can have something to, like, rail against, to, like, yell at. Like, it's not the best like, expectation to be wanting from a show, but it is keeping me coming back.
I always watch it with the hope that they will redeem themselves.
Do you?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like there's a small part of me, that the part that hasn't been consumed by darkness.
How small is we talking?
It's like this space.
It's tiny.
But, like, that does hope that these people will gain self-awareness, you know? Because,
Mm-hmm.
like, that is the most important tool you can have as a person, is the ability to reflect and end patterns, you know? And these people just don't...
have insight.
Yeah, and they just don't have it.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think happens when... And, like, I don't understand people being like, I have haters. Like, yeah, you're on television. I hate Rachel Ray. She's never done anything to me.
Yeah.
But she is on my television, and I don't like it.
Yeah, haters is such a weird concept to begin with.
But we, going...
Speaking of haters, Starship Trooper has a lot of haters.
We did watch... We're... I'm always on Denise Richards' side. I love her. I love The Bold and the Beautiful. I love...
Charlie Sheen.
No, but you do.
I love Charlie Sheen.
You love Charlie Sheen.
I got some tiger blood in me.
Yeah. But... I'm a big stan. I feel horrible about her treatment on Housewives currently. When she first joined, I was so ecstatic. I love her. And we watched a movie she's in called Starship Troopers, which I keep wanting to call Spaceballs, because I can't believe that was a movie that was made in earnest.
Spaceballs?
Starship Troopers.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I can't remember the guy's name. Barney Stinson's in it from... What's it?
Neil Patrick Harris.
Neil Patrick Harris in it. He was pretty funny. He was just a dick, which was pretty great.
He was so mean. He's, like, this guy's best friend, and then he pulls up his, like, shitty test scores, and I was like, hey, everybody, look at this.
Everyone laughs at him.
Everybody laughs at him. He's got a disgusting little ferret.
Oh my gosh, it was so funny in the beginning. The main character joins the military because he's not smart enough to do anything else.
Which is Violetta.
Mm-hmm. All college is Harvard, too. I thought that was pretty funny.
All college is Harvard? Oh, yeah.
Everyone's like, did you get into Harvard? And it's like, maybe next year, because he failed all of his tests. He's like, I think I'm going to go join the Army. His
girlfriend is, like, going to be a pilot.
Yeah, yeah.
She's much smart. Denise Richards, his girlfriend. What's her name?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Marshal Denise Richards.
Sky Marshal Denise Richards, that's her name. In Real Housewives, she goes, I'm Denise fucking Richards.
Really?
Yeah. Because compared to the other housewives, like, she is, and I always think it's interesting when people like this get into the Bravo sphere. It's, like, people who are...
Like, who is she?
People who are independently famous.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like Erica Jane is, like, she is a musician, but, like, she's a housewife. It's, like, her music only applies to, like...
Like, Teresa Gorga, no one ever knew.
Teresa Giudice.
Or either.
Oh, Teresa, yeah.
No one knew either
Teresa or Melissa.
They didn't have...
They're not independently famous.
They're not independently.
Like, Lisa Vanderpump, yeah, she owns restaurants, but, like...
I would say Lisa Vanderpump is getting into the realm of, like, independently successful.
Independently, well, yeah, she's
successful outside the show.
She's a restaurateur.
Yeah, outside of being a housewife, outside of being, like, an interesting person.
She's not a housewife anymore, but she is still wealthy and still... She's getting a podcast, and I think she's getting her own spinoff.
Lisa?
Yeah, on Peacock, I think.
Huh.
That NBC streaming app.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't really looked into that because I find her, kind of... But...
Lisa?
Yeah, I just don't...
Who would you rather see a spinoff of? Baby Girl Lisa? Baby Love Lisa? What the fuck is it?
Baby Girl Lisa, you got it.
Baby Girl Lisa or Lisa Vanderpump?
If I'm picking housewives, I would rather see Yolanda Hadid.
Okay, I gave you two
I don't
options.
like either of them, though.
Okay, so but you have to pick.
I would pick Baby Girl Lisa because she stole $25,000 from her husband.
Ooh,
from Cameos.
Wait, how'd she steal $25,000?
Cameo's a United States-based company, so you can't... You can't be in Nigeria and have an account.
But
you can do Cameos.
I didn't think they got married.
They are married. They did get married. They're getting a divorce. But you didn't see the clips where they have the wedding and the mom's like, no, you're not getting married. And then she asks, I think it's like a Judaism thing where they have to ask 3 times for permission, and if they say yes in the third, then you can. That's what I thought.
Huh.
But
Yeah,
so
I don't know
yeah,
about
so
that.
he's been making cameos, and I guess a lot of them, you know, for 25, and she's and like I think the account that is linked is her name. Because you can't have it outside a bank account. So he's like, oh, she stole this money from me. And then I guess she bought like a Bentley or something. She bought something nice.
Something nice and dumb.
Yeah. She
That's
didn't buy
funny.
a new toe, though.
Ooh.
But, yeah, I think, like, Denise Richards...
Why don't you like Charlie Sheen? Because of Denise Richards?
I don't like 2.5 Men.
But besides that... Well, okay... I listened to a bunch of Roger Stone stuff recently, and like
Why you have it
that's why I have it on
notes?
there. I have it in my notes. Roger Stone like underlined,
but nothing on
nothing
about
else.
it.
But it's because of Denise Richards. It's
Why?
because she married Charlie Sheen in his Oscar award-winning movie Platoon, where Charlie Sheen's breakout role. Charlie Sheen's a starring actor in it. It's all circular.
It is all connected.
Everything goes back to Vanderpump.
Everything goes back to Vanderpump. But like.
But I think that's gonna be like our next Starship Troopers, like next good movie
Platoon.
we're gonna watch. Yeah.
Okay, I'm down to watch anything.
It's got a bunch of people in it.
I like who's his dad? Who's Charlie Sheen's dad? Or his brother? He's in West Wing.
His brother, Emilio Estevez.
Martin Sheen.
Martin Sheen's the dad, but Emilio Estevez is his
Emilio.
Was Charlie Sheen's older
No,
brother.
but Martin Sheen's in West Wing, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's the president.
Martin Sheen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's another thing we should watch. But
do you know this guy from Mighty Ducks? I never knew this
no,
guy.
yeah, that's Charlie Sheen's brother.
I had no idea. And
my brothers were big Mighty Ducks fans as a kid, so that's why I know that.
And apparently, Roger Stone was saying when he wanted to do when he tried to film this Platoon back in like 1983 that he had Emilio Estevez to play Charlie Sheen's character.
I did hear that.
But then by the time that like they actually got approval to make the movie, Vietnam was fought by. We're getting way off course.
We're getting really off course.
But Vietnam was fought by a bunch of teenagers, so they couldn't have someone, i.e. Charlie Sheen, getting his like big on-screen push.
The world works in mysterious ways.
It's pretty hateful of you that you don't like 2.5 Men.
I just don't. I never liked it. It was a show like my parents would watch.
It's really raunchy.
Yeah, it made me uncomfortable.
Like I've seen like some like older episodes,
you know what episode
like
really
older as an adult, and like I've been like, that's what they were saying. Like,
do you
just
know what
not
episode
even.
I saw as a child, and it really did make me be like, I'm never going to watch this show.
What?
The one where the kid that was in the sixth. No, what was he? He's in Pretty in Pink. What's his name? The brother.
I don't know.
He like has a pregnant woman fetish.
Oh yeah. Oh,
that really like made me be like, I can't believe they put this on TV. This is horrifying.
That's reoccurring. It's really
nasty.
Funny. Yeah,
that's really grossed
funny.
out
it's
by
so
it.
hilarious.
So gross.
But
yeah. So on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Denise Richards is a current housewife, and she's getting a lot of shit because she allegedly had an affair with former housewife Brandi Glanville.
I think that should just make her like cooler, shouldn't it?
Yeah, it should. It arguably should be the coolest. Well, I guess the rumor is that she has an open marriage, and so it's like, well, if she's an open marriage, then what is the big deal about you sleeping with her? You know?
Well, what about the other girl? Does she have an open marriage?
Denise Richards, Brandi Glanville?
Yeah.
She's not married.
Then it's fine.
So who cares?
It's
like one of those.
It's just like Teresa and Teresa's argument last like season. It's just manufactured.
Yeah, it's like one of those things to me that is like
homophobic.
Why? Yeah, it's kind of homophobic, and like also, why do you all care so much if Denise is saying it didn't happen? I mean, I guess that's the whole point of the show is to like create drama, but it's like I just don't.
Yeah, no, it just doesn't. Why are we focusing on this thing that's like shouldn't be an issue?
Yeah, it's a non-issue.
Why does anyone care?
The real issue should be that Teddy is boring and she needs to leave.
Okay, I don't even know who Teddy is.
Exactly.
But I also haven't watched the show.
She's the worst.
It's not just because
she's John
that
Cougar
boring.
Mellencamp's daughter.
Okay.
Why does that have any clout?
And that's how she. Yeah.
What's a John Cougar Mellencamp song that is universally beloved?
I actually don't know, but we're gonna Google this. All right, so John Cougar Mellencamp.
Just John Mellencamp when you Google it.
Pink House. Oh, Hurt So Good.
What's that?
Hurt So Good.
I don't think
we're gonna get flagged.
It.
Yeah. That song?
No.
Okay, well, I'll play the rest of it later for Lori. But in the meantime,
we're gonna finish. We're gonna wrap up. Thanks for coming along with this journey on us. Thank you for joining us on this journey.
this journey of
road.
Bravo discovery.
Yeah, it all does come back to Bravo. Like, there's not anything it doesn't relate to it.
There's no mental gymnastics too far that we cannot leap to bring a subject back to
Like
Bravo.
Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox. Guess where they met? On the set of Randall Emmett's new movie. And guess whose podcast they appeared on? Lala's.
We didn't even talk about them.
We're
I don't understand how that goes back.
We're always 6 degrees away from Bravo. And we hope you're staying 6 feet apart.
I'm your producer and co-host, Adam McAvoy.
And I'm your stunning ingenue, Lori Fogg. That sounds so cringe when I say it out loud. Ugh, whatever. Bye, guys.